Today, I want to do a little something different and talk about how you can actually earn more of what you are interested in, especially while the price of all of these utility concentrated tokens is so low now. You're, it's probably not as interesting in terms of the monetary value, but the token accrual will be very important, especially because we are likely to have a new bull, bull run in 2024 and then into 2025 as well. So I want to talk about what our options are for either investing a large fiat amount right now to earn income off of that, which of course I'm not advising for that sense, or to just accrue more tokens at a low cost now, and you'll have more when the price actually goes up. So I found this from Kyron at No BS Crypto. And I think the key here is these are things you can natively stake, which I will explain that in a minute and why I'm much more interested in that. But as we can see here, we've got some of my tops like HBAR, Casper, Algo. Uh, let's see, we have AVAX as well. I actually like AVAX. I think it has some really interesting connections, and I can explain that more in the future as well. Now, if you look at the APYs in terms of percentages, you've got Casper at almost 11. Unfortunately, H bar is down from what, 6.5 or 6 to 2.5. You've got Tau at 24. I thought 6.8% on Algo isn't bad, and 7% on AVAX too. And I found some more information in the comments. You've got the Morpheus network at 18%, but you have to join in to a node. And then here's my interesting comment right now. So I stake my Casper through Mason Versluis. I just have always known his channel as Crypto Mason, so I just refer to him as that. But he made a video on his Coreum node that had a 29% APY. I think it's down to 20%, but I mean, that's still huge in my opinion. So I wanted to link these back to what we talked about a long time ago now, and the top utility tokens, in my opinion. I think there are some others that I could add on here, but this is a graphic that was originally made by the XX account. So we've got Casper on here, we've got HBAR on here. I believe IOTA was on there too, and we have Algo as well. So let's run through what native staking actually is and why it's a better option for me personally than just tossing it into some kind of a pool on a centralized exchange. So the difference between native staking and pooled is that native comes with the responsibility of running your own validator node. You own that node, which will earn rewards that are just for you. Now, that's how everything on this list actually works, right? So the good thing about a few of these is that it's really easy to do that within HBAR. It's pretty easy to do it in Casper as well. And I want to get into this Coreum validator as well, which is not hard, and I don't actually own that, but I like these options versus those things on centralized exchanges where you are throwing your assets in a pool, and based on what rewards that exchange is able to make from you providing them liquidity, you get a percent. So that's kind of like a money market, or it's almost a loan. But the problem that I have with doing it on an exchange is that exchanges get hacked. It's a lot easier, in my opinion, to hack an exchange than it is a personal private wallet. And I like the options with Casper, HBAR, and Coreum because I can just hook it up to my personal uh, wallet where I have the seed phrase, I have a password, I have two-factor authentication. It's much harder for that to be hacked than it is an exchange, in my personal opinion. So I want to talk about why I consider these three projects my top options for a passive income at the moment. So I think HBAR is still my first choice right now, even though it only has a 2.5% APY. The attractiveness for me is that a it's not in the top 10, but it is in the top 30. There's a lot of enterprise potential here, and I am able to accrue more tokens now while it's at a very cheap price. I think I bought most of mine at about 4.5 cents down to 3.5 cents. So, I mean, yeah, it's not earning me much at all in terms of USD right now, but I'm more interested in the passive income in terms of tokens than I am in the USD value right now. And I think a lot of you probably are too, because if you're interested in my kind of content, I think you're more interested in the mid to long term opportunity here. So that brings me to Casper as well. If you look at the market cap, the H bar is about what 1.7 billion. We go down to Casper, and it's only 379 million. It did launch basically right at the beginning of a bear market. So if you just check out the charts, it looks horrible. But the interesting thing is that they are becoming more and more well positioned to be able to work with actual institutional and enterprise applications. And if you look at this market cap here, and if we compare that to other things in the past, which I will at the end here, um, I I think that Casper in particular could be my next really large opportunity to get a very high return off of a project. And just if you recall, we can make just about 10 or 11% APY on Casper at the moment. So now we go into Coreum. So Coreum runs on the XRPL essentially. So I'm having a hard time finding any true market cap. But if you just compare the volumes, then we're able to get a sense of how it compares. And I think that there's a lot of potential in Coreum as well. I do have some information that I want to explain on this probably soon, as I think it'll be my next token to buy into. But if we check out the 24-hour volume, it is 2,540th out of everything. We've got 38,000 in 24-hour volume. We've got 1.9 million in Casper and 28 in HBAR. So that's not a great way to compare what the opportunities are, but with a 20% APY, you're able to accrue a lot of tokens while it's a low price asset. And if you look at what Coreum is actually aiming to do and its connections, then I think this could explode. So I am very interested in this. So now that we've run through my top three passive income in terms of token opportunities for the utility token financial technology end of things, which is a hell of a niche, I guess. Let's go back and check out what our price potentials are, because we are interested in accruing tokens that we think will be worth more, or I am, at least. Of course, this isn't any financial advice. I'm just talking about what I am interested in. So if we look at HBAR now compared to ADA, and I like to compare to Cardano because it did have a very large bull run in the past. It is a utility token project, and I think it illustrates the potential that these new utility token projects can see when we're in a bull run. So even if we compare HBAR to ADA now, HBAR could be worth up to 26 cents. If we look at ADA's all-time high, HBAR can be all the way up to $2.87. So if we are accruing 5 HBAR every day, then that HBAR can be worth up to about 11 and a half or 12 a day. So yeah, that's not amazing, but if you add that up over a month, over a year, that's over $3,500 a year, easy. So I'm more interested in just using the passive income opportunities of these projects, and I'm also contributing to the projects as well, because you are providing the liquidity for that network to actually operate, which I think is cool. So now let's talk about our next one, Casper, right? And I won't compare it to ADA first because I think that's a little optimistic at the moment, but I am interested in that still. So if Casper even had the current market cap of HBAR now, it could be worth 15 cents. And even if we're comparing it to HBAR's all-time high, it could be worth 61 cents. And as we recall, HBAR has really only gone through one bull run where it hit about 50 cents. And I really think it's well positioned to be adopted relatively soon compared to a lot of other projects. So now let's have some fun and toss in Cardano here, just because Casper is really concentrating on the enterprise end of things. I think it has a lot higher potential, and it's hard to compare it to a lot of other projects, in my opinion. So even if we're comparing Casper to Cardano now, it's a 23x all-time high. It's a 250x. Now I don't think we'll see $8.39 Casper in 2024, but I mean, just depending on what all of these Bitcoin ETFs do, how much capital that they will bring into the crypto market, the next bull run could be exponentially larger than it has been in the past. And then after we get regulatory clarity for crypto as a whole, we're looking at an additional utility token bull run as well. So over the next few years, I think this is entirely possible. And just remember that we are able to earn 10 or 11% APY on this right now. So I think it's a interesting thing that I am checking more into now that I'm much more active in this space. And if you're interested, I can provide some tutorials on how to actually go about realizing these APYs on HBAR, on Casper, and on Coreum as well. So I know that this content's a little bit different than what I have been putting out lately. But if you're interested in this, comment and let me know what you want to see on here.